Guys, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Kelly, and I have a sewing and embroidery business as well as a fabric business, and that's what we talk about here. Usually, today's going to be a little bit different. We are going to talk a little bit about sublimation. I don't do a ton of sublimation, but it is handy to have, especially for things like what I'm going to do today, which is mostly I'm going to do some tags for clothes. There's a whole, in the last video I made these cute little rompers, and I want to put a size tag as well as care instructions on them. Sort of a little bit of a disclaimer here. There are lots of rules and regulations for this, ways in which you are supposed to tag your clothing. I'm not an expert at all. Like, probably everything I'm about to tell you is wrong. It's just what I do. I make sure there's a size, and I make sure that there is care instructions. Now, part of that is for my benefit. You know, I make some samples, and I need to know what size they are, so they need to be tagged for that. Also, I make a lot of shorts, and I want my customers to be able to know where... Sorry, I was about to have a coughing fit there. So with shorts, it's hard to tell front and back. So it's just a little extra thing that you can do for customers. Even before I started sublimating, I would always put at least like a blank piece of ribbon on the back part of the shorts, just so they knew which is back and which is front. But I do think sizes are important and care instructions are important. I do believe there's also some pretty much anything, you know, if you buy fabric within the US or maybe even outside of the US, but the fabric that you buy, anything that you buy from my shop, that's all been tested for safety standards. So you don't necessarily have to worry about that, but I do think there is some other labeling like numbers, and you have to have a lot number or something. Probably need to research that more, but again, this video is I'm just showing you what I do. So I do size and I do care instructions. So I'll show you what kind of printer I have and how that's all set up, as well as I have a heat press. And then since I'm doing a video on sublimation and I don't do a whole lot of videos on sublimation, I also need to make a mug. So I will do that mug as well, and I have a mug press for that. There's a couple of different ways you can do mugs. Maybe there's more than a couple of different ways. I don't even, like, I'm in some Facebook groups for sublimation, but like I hide them. I just check them every once in a while. I don't even really pay attention to sublimation that much. I have a setup that works for me. And I don't really, because again, I don't really sell anything sublimation. I don't like polyester clothes, and it's just a personal preference. And so it's hard for me to get excited about clothes that are sublimated, because you have to have at least 65% polyester in them for them to look good. And really, for them to look their best, they have to be 100% polyester. And it's just not my thing. But I do use it. It comes out the most at Christmas time because I do ornaments. And those are pretty popular. Last year I sold a ton of ornaments. I could have sold more, but there was like, shipping was a nightmare. You guys know that. But what I really love it for is mugs. I mean, it's like far and above anything you could do with vinyl, because vinyl just eventually peels off. I don't care how awesome you are at it. Whereas sublimation is totally permanent. Like, if you screw up, then this is trash. And then I use it for clothing labels. Now you could, I mean, years ago, probably before some of you were even born, I used to buy like certain like iron-on paper, and I would make labels for clothes. This is just a method that I really like. You can even just buy them on Etsy and have them pre-made, but I like, you know, being able to do that myself. So I'll take you over to the computer. I'll show you what I designed here and how I have it all set up, and then I'll also take you over and show you what kind of printer I have, what kind of ink I have, that sort of thing. just so that if it's something, I have the like bare bones cheapest way to enter, maybe not the cheapest, but pretty close to the cheapest way to enter into sublimation. And I'm so glad I did that. I kind of went back and forth because you can buy really expensive sublimation printers. And oh my goodness, I'm not sure what is going on with me today, but like my throat is really dry. Actually, it's probably allergies. It's been raining and then not raining and then raining and not raining, and now it's like super humid and gross. But anyway, you can buy really expensive sublimation printers. You can buy really expensive ink. You can buy really expensive substrates. Oh, I didn't say this. You can't just go to the Dollar Tree and buy a mug. I mean, I had to buy these from somewhere that specializes in sublimation because these are coated, again, with like a polyester or a poly kind of thing, so that they will take the sublimation ink. So, which kind of stinks. So I bought these like 2 years ago, but you know, shipping's so high, so you want to order more to make it worth it. But now I still got, you know, 20 mugs. So anytime anybody needs a quick gift, I'm like, let me make you a mug. So this is for a friend. I mean, she's paying me for it, but it's like she's going to give it as a retirement gift. So I think she wanted a wine glass. I'm like, no, let's do a mug because I got lots and lots of mugs. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with all that. Oh, so I'm really glad that I didn't buy the most expensive stuff because in the end, it's just not my thing. I mean, it's fine. It's, again, it's so nice to have when you need it. But I didn't really end up getting into it to where I'm like super passionate about, you know, making shirts or making this or making that with sublimation. I just like it when I need it. So let's look at the computer first and then I'll go show you the printer. Okay, I lied. Let's look at the printer first because I think some of this will make more sense when we go over to the computer. But I just have a, let me tell you down. So I have, it's called an Epson ET2720, and that is a refillable printer. And I've said this before, but when my just regular printer has bit the dust, I will probably get another one of these for regular printing. So let me take you to where you can see this a little bit better. So it's called an Echo Tank, and it's got these cartridges right here that you fill up. And so it's meant, this printer is meant for regular printing, but you can easily change it to sublimation by just using sublimation ink instead of the ink that comes with it. Now, I will say, you know, you can't, if you've ever put regular ink in this, it's probably, maybe you can buy something online to clean out the lines and stuff, but once you put regular ink in it, it's pretty much not going to be a sublimation printer. So I bought this because I knew I wanted to sublimate, and that's what I knew I wanted to use it for. So I only ever put sublimation ink in it, and it's what I'll only ever put in it because cleaning out these cartridges is not something that's easy to do. So let me grab, it's actually in this closet right here. So let me grab the ink. I had just bought some. Okay, I had to do a little digging around, and I actually, at Christmas, I bought a new set of the sublimation ink. So I was going to show you that, but I can't find it, and it's not really worth it. I kind of keep them all in here, which is good because look how they've sort of leaked out. These are almost empty. Like I said, I sold a bunch of ornaments at Christmas, and I was worried I was going to run out of ink. And shipping was taking so long. I was like, I better order ink right now. But just a quick little tip. I'm not going to go in, since mine's already set up, I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of really setting this up. But one tip is you have to, if you're doing an Echo Tank, if that's what you bought, you have to dump out the regular ink and that comes with the printer and save the caps. So each of these little cartridges has a doohickey, I don't know what you would call it, on top, and a key, I guess, almost. And so you need, let me see if I can pull one out with this. So this would have been yellow. So this cap came on the ink that came with the printer, and I kept this. And so you stick this down in there, and then you can just squeeze your sublimation ink down there, and then it'll load up. But your sublimation ink that you buy on Amazon is not going to go directly in here without that key. So I just said ink from Amazon. I will link it down below what I buy. Again, you can buy super expensive ink, and I've never owned it, so it's probably better. I don't know. Again, I only use this for minimal things. And the ink I bought, again, this is my second time buying this brand of ink. Let me see if the name is on here. Again, I'll link it below. SEP, I don't know. Bulk ink for inkjet printers. That's what it says. But I'll link the actual brand that I buy. So cheapy stuff on Amazon, and for me, for what I do, it works great. And so anyways, I put that in there. Same with paper. I buy the paper off Amazon. I don't know that what I buy is the cheapest. As a matter of fact, at Christmas, I bought a cheaper kind and I don't love it. So I'll go back to what I used to buy, and that's what I'll link below, just so that you have the better product. It's called like A1 Sub or something. So that's basically it. I mean, it is a normal printer that I have changed to be Sublimation. You can buy, the main seller of actual Sublimation printers is called Sawgrass. And then Epson does make a Sublimation printer that is specifically for Sublimation. I don't know how much those are. I don't know how much Sawgrass is. I just know it was out of my budget, and that was probably a $200 printer. So I think once I bought the ink, the printer, the paper, and the mugs, I was in less than 500 for sure. But again, that was several years ago. So it's turned out to be worth it, because again, I sold a lot of ornament. Right, every year I sell a lot of ornaments. This year, I'm going to start in like October, because it kind of seems like I'm making ornaments till the end of time, like Christmas Eve. So, okay, now we will go to the computer and I will show you how I set up my designs for this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make what we want for the mug. And then also, so here's the cool thing about Sublimation. It will go on anything that's polyester. So ribbon often, always often is 100% polyester. So it's a perfect substrate for Sublimation. So I'm basically just going to make my own tags onto this ribbon. I've also done, if you live in Texas like me, you know that homecoming mums are a big deal. Seriously, y'all, I didn't know until I was probably, I guess, in college that was a Texas thing. I thought everybody had homecoming mums. But anyway, I do personalized ribbons for homecoming mums using my Sublimation printer. I didn't do that. Is it just, yeah, it's only been 1 year now that I didn't do it, right? Because there was really no homecoming. Well, that's not true. I did some for my daughter. She still wanted a mom, even though there was nowhere to wear it. So I made her some custom ribbons, but this ribbon, this is from Hobby Lobby, but, it's almost always 100% polyester. So they're perfect for Sublimation. So we're going to, do the mug and this. Okay, so as you can see, I've already got everything set up the way I want it. I won't bore you with the design aspect of it, because I mean, part of it just depends on your logo, what you want, but literally you can put anything here. I personally do everything in Silhouette. I do think like this circle right here, I pulled that off of Canva. But all the fonts and stuff and all the typing are just stuff I had in Silhouette. Same with this that's going to go on the mug. I just did that right here in Silhouette. So what you do, let me show you just real quick. So if you just wanted your logo, nothing fancy, so, you know, I pick whatever font I want. That looks terrible. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm just kind of showing you. But you would do that, and then, you know, with Silhouette, this would cut. But that we're not doing a cut file. We want it to print. So you can just change the color to whatever you want, and then make sure that you also change the color of the cut lines to match. Because whatever you see right here is what's going to print. The other thing is that because you're printing and you're not cutting, you want your print border to show, this right here, so that you know that everything that you're about to print is within that border. So that is one thing. My printer, this cheap printer that I went with, you know, it only does regular size paper. There are other sublimation printers that do a much wider piece of paper. And there's been a few times when I think that would be nice, but not so much that I wish I would have spent more money. So you just kind of got to think about what you would be making. Like this 8.5 by 12 or 11, what's a piece of paper? 8.5 by 11? Piece of paper would be fine for kids' shirts, but if you wanted to do adult shirts, you might want something a little bit bigger. Again, I mostly only do hard surfaces like ornaments or mugs, what we're doing today. So I don't really care that this is all that I can fit onto a piece of paper. And I'm going to go ahead and print them all on one sheet of paper, so I'm not wasting. For the mug, I used to have like a template that I got off of somewhere that would help me figure out sizes and stuff, but I ended up not liking that. And I just kind of figure out what size I want it, and then I want it to be on both sides of the mug. So I copy and pasted to get 2 versions of it, so it'll be on either side of the mug. Now, when you are sublimating, there's a whole bunch of things that you have to do to set it up to print. I'm not going to go through all of that today because it depends on where you're printing from, and I'm printing from Silhouette. You can also print from Canva, you can print from Adobe, you can print from Word, you know, so all of those options are going to be different with how you set up your printer. It depends on if you have a Mac or a PC. It depends on what kind of printer you have. It depends on what kind of paper you have. And I know that seems like a lot of variables, but it's really not, because, I mean, again, I set this up 2 years ago and haven't touched it since. So I will show you what mine looks like. So after I've set it all up, I've got a preset, which is my sub. It is, let's look at some of so there's a color matching, and you have, your ink often will come with something that you need to download that tells it what colors are what. I would really just, like on the ink that I bought, I just read all of the Amazon reviews, and it kind of told me how to do that. So I've got that, and then paper handling is important. You do not, not paper handling, print settings. Yes, print settings is important. For me, I use premium presentation paper matte. That is what has worked best for me. Different people have different ideas of what works best there. That, for everything that I have, a Mac, Epson EcoTank, printing from Silhouette, that's what works best for me. And I want it high quality. You're almost always with sublimation going to mirror your image, so you can go ahead and click that. There is one other, somewhere in here, it will give you an option for fast printing. You never want it to print too fast, because I don't know where that is. I thought it was under print settings, borderless grayscale. Anyway, you don't want super fast printing. It'll smear your ink and give you not great results. So, premium presentation matte, high quality, mirror image. You can get your colors all set up. I think, yeah, I don't know where and again, this is going to be completely different if you are on a PC. So this is what mine looks like. I'm now going to print it and we'll come back. All right, so this is what it looks like when it prints. Again, it's going to flip it over, or, you know, do it in a mirror image. And I guess I should clarify why I did some big ones and some little ones. It's because I wasn't quite sure what I wanted. I think ideally for these smaller clothes, I would have ribbon that is a little bit thinner. This is just all I had available for today. So I wasn't quite sure, especially on the rompers, because I'm going to put it into a side seam. I didn't want a big old tag, but I think on the shorts it would be okay. So my thought is that these little ones will be for the romper. The big ones will be for short. Okay, I had to pause for a second because I had to sneeze. I'm telling you, the allergies are terrible. So, you know, I mean, probably ideally I would use a straight edge or something and really take my time to cut these out, but for purposes of the video, we're just going to do this pretty quickly. So, okay, so I'm just going to do that and then cut a piece of ribbon that will fit. So you want it to fit everything plus have a little bit of a seam allowance because it's going to go on the waistband of the shorts. Whoops. So we'll do that one for that one. And then this one, again, we want it pretty little. Doesn't matter too much. But then what you do is you heat up your heat press to 400 degrees. And then I use heat transfer tape. You don't have to. Some people use like a sticky spray. And I guess that works fine. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this a little bit upside down so I can see if I'm hitting the center here. Do you see what I'm saying? You may not be able to see on video, but I can kind of see through the ribbon. So that's pretty well centered. So we'll leave it there. All of this is very like inexpensive. So if we mess something up, we mess something up. So again, I use the heat transfer tape. I'll link it below. I just get off Amazon and it's lasted forever because I don't use much. So this one, we definitely got to center it a little bit because it's kind of big. I'm not sure I'm going to keep this design, but I guess we'll work it out. So we're going to heat up our heat press to 400, and then we're going to press it for 60 seconds. Almost everything that you do, sublimation, is that 400, 60 seconds. Mugs are different though. I don't know why. I don't ask questions. I just do it. So let's go over to the heat press. Okay, so this area of my sewing room is kind of a mess always, but I wanted you to see my heat press. It is from Amazon. It's 15 by 15, cheapy, bottom of the barrel, whatever. I'm not even gonna link it because they're all the same. If you're buying off of Amazon, it's the same thing. But anyway, one thing I do want to say is you don't want to use a Teflon sheet with sublimation. Something to do about the way it evaporates or whatever. It just doesn't give you good results. But you do on top of, normally I would do more than 2 at a time, but since we're just doing quick little video, on top and on bottom, you want to put some butcher paper. It will seep through and get on your heat press, and you don't want that. So I don't even think I'm gonna be able to pick this up, but I got this at Sam's. It is a ginormous roll of butcher paper, and I just keep it over here and cut off a little piece and use it. I know you can get it on Amazon. I'll find a link for that because I know not everybody has a Sam's card or lives next to a Sam's. So anyway, 400 degrees, 60 seconds. We'll press it and check out the results. One more thing, actually I hadn't plugged this in, I forgot. These are, I don't know, I've heard horror stories about these, so I, only heat mine up when I need it, and then I turn it off and unplug it when I'm done. It's not something I leave on very much. Plus it kind of stinks and it gets really hot in here. But anyway, one thing I forgot to mention was pressure. If you've done a lot of like heat transfer vinyl, you're probably used to quite a bit of pressure. That's not the case with sublimation. For our project today, it probably doesn't matter very much, but if you were doing a shirt and you had too much pressure, you would get lines around the design. So keep it more at a medium to light pressure, kind of depending on what you're doing. But again, a lot of times it's trial and error. So never use your best blank to test something out. This ribbon's super cheap, so if I mess it up, it doesn't matter. But I've got mine set to a pretty medium to low pressure. All right, so we got about 15 seconds left on this. One of the things I forgot to mention earlier is when you are putting your item on the heat press, you want your paper on top. I assume that is because this is where the heat comes from, is the top. So you want the heat coming through the paper first and then onto your blank. So, moment of truth, I actually added another of the little ones in because I thought, well, that's stupid. I've got 2 rompers. Oops, hold please, I just dropped it. Okay, so perfect. Big one turned out nice. You just peel off your paper and the the tape. So I'll just fold it in the middle there and sew it in to the, oh, you know what I did, y'all? Okay, hang on. Maybe not awesome, maybe not perfect. Oh, I think it'll be all right. I'll be able to use these, but I should have separated. I should have put a little bit more space in here. I don't have quite enough room to, see if you look at the back, I'm not sure you guys are gonna be able to see this, but if you look at the back, my logo, I don't have enough seam allowance here to get both of these seams in. I should still be able to use it. Let's look at the little ones and see. Oh, the little ones, let me check out this one. Oh no, it's fine. So, same deal, although this one's, I think these are gonna be perfect. So, yeah, because I wanted them to be really skinny since they're going in the side seam. Let me show you my romper. So this is the romper that I made, and I'm just gonna go on the inside here. And I serged mine. If you were just sewing, you could just sew your tag right in there. But I'm just gonna take this. Yeah, these are gonna work perfectly. The bigger ones I'm gonna have to give a little more space, but I want them to be pretty skinny. So I'll just, how do I show you this? I'll just cut this off and I'll do a little stitch right here in that seam. And I like to do it that way, even if I'm not serging. I'm the type of person that takes tags off of everything. So I want them to easily be able to take the tag off if they so choose. So again, I'll just place it right here in this seam. Sew a little zigzag stitch, and then we're good to go. So that is for tags. Let me show you guys real quick. I guess this could be a separate video, but let me show you real quick how I do the mugs, because it is a little bit different. And I think it's a cute mug and you should see it. Okay, so again, you want a mug that is especially made for sublimation. You can get them off of Amazon. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things. I've never tried them. I got mine, I want to say from Conde, C-O-N-D-E, but most, and you know, if you just search sublimation blanks mugs, you'll come up with some options. I would also look at where you live and where they're manufactured, where they ship from. Because shipping is what gets you on these. You'll look at the price and you're like, oh, it's only $1. And then, yeah, but to get 10, you got to pay $70 in shipping or something. So just pay attention to that. But basically, same idea. We're going to take these and we're going to tape them on here. Now, again, I used to have a template that kind of lined things up, but I actually just kind of prefer to do it myself. The other issue is, and let me get one of my little tags had it. Let me see if I can find it. I may have, yeah. So I think I mentioned that this particular paper is not my favorite paper. And what I'm finding with it is it's leaving little black spots. See all those little black spots? That's from the paper. So I definitely don't want those on my mug. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a lot of this white. With the other paper that I use that I like, I wouldn't do that. But I've just had some trouble with this paper. And so I don't want to take any chances. If you notice, I did use my straight edge down here below, and I did both of them the same so that I could line it up with the bottom of my mug. Y'all, I seriously don't know that this is gonna work. I can see the black dots on the paper. But we'll try it. Again, I've got more mugs than I want right now. So if I mess it up, I'll make her another one. Okay, so I just kind of eyeball it. Again, I line up my bottom here, but I eyeball it in terms of where I put it on from the handle. So put some tape there. And you want it pretty tight. You can also, I think earlier I started to tell you guys that there were other ways to do mugs. You can do them, people do them in like toaster ovens or convection ovens or something. I don't know. I'll show you my mug press here in a second. But it's, yet again, just a cheapie straight from China off Amazon. And I think it works just fine. You can, I'm sure, spend $1,000 on a mug press if you would like. But I would not like that. I would not like that at all. So, Now I'm just gonna kind of look at the other side. Again, this is for a friend of a friend, and I have more mugs. So, whoops. My tape came off of my handy dandy little roller here. There we go. Okay. So just tape it down. Again, you want it pretty tight, definitely secure. So let me finish taping this and then I'll show you my heat press. Okay, so this is my mug press. Again, it's just another cheapie off of Amazon. Looks like it's called Better Sub. It is very dusty. I just keep it stored away all the time and only pull it out when I use it. Talk about stink. This one smells worse than my regular heat press. But anyway, the same kind of deal. You wrap it in your butcher paper and slide it in here and then clamp this down. I'm actually going to do that off camera because I never really read the instructions on this heat press and I don't know how to set the timer, so I have to do the timer on my phone and I'm videoing with my phone. But it's 400 again, and mine usually works best around 210 seconds. Again, I don't know the science behind why mugs are something that take a lot longer than other items. I just go with it. So we'll do it for 210 seconds at 400 and I'll show you the results when I'm done. Okay, so I'm a bit of a dummy. I just paused the video and threw the mug in there and it wasn't heated up to 400 yet. So I could like repress it, but I think that we have some of those dots I was talking about. So let's just check it out and see. Obviously it's gonna be really hot, so be careful. I've seen people buy like heat gloves or whatever. I just take my chances, y'all. All right. It's okay. There are some dots. See? I'm not sure you're gonna be able to see them. Let's try this side. I'll show you the magic of the peeling. Yeah, nope, I'm gonna redo it. So, if it was for my friend, as a gift, I would probably just leave it. But since my friend is giving it to someone, I'm gonna redo it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there's like a line that I know that's from the paper. I've used this paper enough to know that that's what it's from. I'm gonna pause the video. I'm gonna see if I can find like a scrap piece of my other paper and show you guys the difference. Okay, so I just made an executive decision. I did find a little scrap piece of the Better paper, and I'm gonna go on Amazon right now and order some of this. However, something went amiss and it's hard to see, and I would have missed it had I printed this. But can you guys see how the printing is a little off? Like it's like things shifted. So I thought, like, look at that, how off that is. The P up here, see how it didn't print quite right. So I thought maybe it was because it was just like a half sheet like this. So I printed it again on the paper I don't like, and it did the same thing. So this kind of falls into the category of why I don't do a whole lot of sublimation printing, but I'm sure if I did, I could work all of this out. I just don't really want to. So like when I say that this mug is for a friend, I mean, it's like for one of my best friends. So I'm just gonna tell her she can have the mug to give as a gift. Like she doesn't have to pay me for it. Or she can wait and I can do it, you know, I can do it again, but I can tell you with 99.9% accuracy, is that the right word? I can guess with 99% that she's just gonna take the mug. Let me go grab it again. I had it in the window cooling. So, I mean, that's the thing with sublimation. It really is permanent. So like, these little dots, you know, I'm not going to be able to get those off. So I'm going to send her a picture where she can really see that. I don't know. Now I'm changing my mind again. Maybe I'll redo it. Either way, yeah, I'm going to have to redo it. So I'm going to order the paper. I'm going to do it the right way because, again, you can see it on this paper. Like, there's none of that black stuff that you can see on this stuff. So clearly something's up with my printer settings, so I'm going to check on that. I'm going to redo it for her, and it'll be beautiful and perfect. And I'll give this one away, like on my Buy Nothing group in Facebook. Are you guys in those? Those are so fun. Somebody will want it. So I'll give that away. I'll make her a new one. But what a bummer, man. Ah, I hate that. Anyway, again, welcome to why I don't do sublimation very much. And thank you for joining me. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If this was helpful at all, please subscribe and like. And if you have any questions or anything you want to see me do, please comment. And I will see you guys soon, hopefully with a more successful video.